Lushootseed. Hot slachel, siayaya chal. Nikita, did you by any chance have an opportunity to watch yesterday's video? Wait. Okay. So we're going to give you the crash course. The crash course of, what am I doing over here? Let's leave. We're going to leave this one over here. Okay. So, what we started talking about, did you print out the worksheet? Wait. Somebody took the orange rag. So random, so weird. Juegos aside. Okay, so we started talking about person-patient endings. Do you want me to hole punch this for you?
I have a hole punch.
Okay. Lushootseed. Where are they at, though? They're right there. They're right there. They're over. Well, I know it wasn't you who took it. No. Okay. So we started talking about person-patient endings, and what that is when we're talking about an action being done to a first person. Mm-hmm. So I, you, us, or you guys. When we look at the sentences, one of the ways that I was trying to share it what was my example there? I will visit Charlie.
I got one of the fruit flies.
I will visit Charlie versus the sentence, Charlie will visit me. In these sentences, we have the same verb taking place. In both sentences, visit is our verb. Also, in both of the sentences, we have Charlie. And then we have I, or me. Now, the difference that we see when we look at these two sentences together, who is doing the action? And then who is the action being done to? Another thing we went over yesterday is we looked at different words that don't involve an action being done to somebody else. Like, us guadil cha, you are sitting down. Us kis chud, I'm standing up. It doesn't involve anything being done to anybody else. So that's just your verb. That's just your basic verb. Then we have verbs where it can take an object, or it's something that is being done to someone. So in this one, and for funsies, we have this prefix. With the verb being in the middle of the English sentence. That's what is going to help us figure out how we're saying this in Lushootseed. If I'm doing an action, how am I represented? If chud. In Lushootseed, I'm represented as chud. I am doing that action. Like I said, us kis chud. Or if it's one of the cha words, us guadil cha. You are doing the action of sitting down. Noticing that in English, I am before the verb, visit. Now, if an action is being done to me, Charlie will visit me. I am after the verb, that means this action is being done to me. I am the one experiencing this verb. I am the one being visited. If I am before the verb, I'm going to be a cha, one of the cha words. I, you, we, you guys will be represented in cha. If we come after the verb, that's when we transition into our little crash course. If we take zalachad bead, this word literally means visit someone. We always say someone or something. Visit someone or something. If we want to say visit me, we're going to get rid of the D transitive ending, and we're going to put a C, zalachad beats. Somebody is going to visit me. If it's visit you, we're going to use that seed ending. And that is changing these endings is what is called a person-patient ending. So when you hear us say person-patient ending, that means that this verb is happening to one of these first-person people, a person-patient ending. It's connecting itself to the verb. This visit me becomes one word. Zalachad beats, visit me. We went through and we translated, I will visit my friend will visit me. You visited your mom, your grandma visited you. Those were the ways that we were trying to go through and determine, am I represented as a chud, or am I represented with that C ending? Are you represented as cha, or are you represented as that seed ending? This is my biggest thing. This was the biggest thing that helped me, was determining what the verb is. If I am before the verb, I'm represented as chud. I am the actor. If I'm after the verb, that means that this verb is happening to me, so I'm going to be attached to it. Hopefully that's helpful for other people when you start looking at the sentences in English to determine, am I the actor or am I the one experiencing the verb? So let's try, before we move on to the paper, I'm just going to put some random sentences up here. Just looking at these 4 sentences, and we're not trying to translate these into English, but what we want to do is we want to look at these sentences and determine what type of sentence structure we're going to have. I am sitting. So what's our verb here? Sitting. Am I before the verb or after the verb? I'm before the verb, so how will I be represented? Chud. I'm going to be the actor in this one. So for this next one, they sat me down. What is the verb in that sentence? It's also a form of sit, sat. Yep. Am I before the verb or after the verb? After. So that means this sentence, I will be represented in that person, patient ending. They sat me down. They are the actor because they're the ones performing the action. I'm the one experiencing that action. They sat me down. You visited your friend hugged you. So what's the verb in the first one? Visited. Who's the actor? You. And how will that be represented? Cha. Cha. Your friend hugged you. What's the verb? Hugged. Who's the actor? Your friend. And then you will be represented in that person patient ending because you are experiencing being hugged. So that's one of the ways that I look at the English to help remind me how I'm going to say this in Lushootseed. You will get used to hearing the beat seed ending. One of the things that we said yesterday, I think I had it written down, but I probably erased it. Shudu beat seed. Shudu beat seed. It's like shoe. Shudu beat seed. That means see you. Shudu beat seed. Some people just say shudu beat seed, kind of like see ya. Some people a little more formally would say like shudu beat seed chud, I will see you. Shudu beat seed chud, I'll quit la, I'll see you later. Shudu beat seed chud, I'll see you tomorrow. There's lots of ways that you can say that same thing where it's all implied. Okay, this is our normal routine. Shoot a beat seed, see ya. I know I'll see you tomorrow, but then we can get more formal in the way that we add things on there. But my big point being, you will start to hear that beat seed ending the more that you're around language speakers, especially if they're talking directly to you. Then you're going to start picking that up and you're like, oh, they're saying something about me. Something's being done to me. Something, they saw me. Another one, aslach du bitsid. I remember you. As hai du bitsid. Oh, I know you. So like there's all of these beat seed endings that will come up. That will be a little bit more familiar. So this part, recognizing our verbs and determining whether we are the actor. We are the actor if in English we are before the verb. We are the experiencer if we're right after the verb. Any questions on that before we move on? Wait. Now we get to talk about bothering. So if we flip our paper over, we have bapad, bother him, bother her, bother someone. So how would you say bother me? Bother me. For this D transitive ending, I guess, is that the first time I've said transitive? Have you guys heard of transitive verb? A transitive verb is an action that can be done to someone or something. Like we talked about godil, kis, abush, talawil, sock. There's lots of words that are just actions that happen. And then there's transitive verbs where actions are being done to someone or something. So bapad its meaning is bother someone or something. Just like in zalachad bead, for bother me, I'm going to be represented through this C, bapats, bapats. Do you have the paper?
I'm looking. Sorry.
No, it's okay. Here, I have an extra one.
Thank you.
I could have accidentally taken it from you.
Thanks.
And then for bother you, that transitive D is going to get replaced with a seed, which represents you. My dog bothered me. My dog bothered me. We're still going to start out with the verb. How would we say my dog bothered me?
Could we use chud?
Could we use chud?
Yeah. Oh, never mind. It's
Good catch, Ron. Good catch. Why don't we want to use chud?
it's a dog.
Yep, because the dog is the actor. Good catch.
Caught myself.
But I'm glad you said it because other people could have been thinking that same thing.
Is it the squabai?
Bapats. Bapats. Teed squabite. Dite hot. Bapats teed squabite. Bothered me. My dog. My dog bothered me.
I gotta learn this next one.
Huh?
I have to learn this next one.
Oh, which one is it? I was definitely inspired by my dog who, she's so whiny.
We got 3 tiny ones.
She's so whiny.
So they get into everything. Like one of them has a problem of just picking stuff off the floor and eating it.
Oh, man.
And we're like, what are you
That's
eating?
a dog.
She's like a cap in her mouth. We're like, why do you have that? Where'd you even find it? We haven't had water bottles in ages.
We have our inside-outside dog, Bowie. I got 2 deliveries yesterday, and I texted my daughter, and I said, hey, can you grab the packages? It says they were delivered in front of the garage. I got home, and both of the boxes, the outside boxes were chewed on. And I'm like, Bowie beat you to the boxes. You did not get to them in time. And then our inside dog, she, our inside dog, she whines about everything. She's the mom of the puppies. Well, they're not puppies anymore. She's the mama, but she's small. Like, she's even smaller than her dogs. But she thinks she's like the big bad dog. And she's got really good hearing too.
That's common with small dogs.
She can, yeah. So she can hear when somebody's pulling in the driveway, and then she just gets all anxious and starts barking. And I'm like, what are you going to do, girl? Open up the door. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And she'll just stand there.
I've had so many moments where I've had to open the front door and be like, there's nobody here. Why are you barking?
Yep, same.
Go out there. See.
All right, next one. Odessa. Next one.
Is it Bahad? Chud. See. So, is it Sokoa? Or
Are you the oldest?
And I'm the youngest.
So what would you say if you were to translate it talking about your older sister?
I don't know how to say older sister, but I think we have young or older sibling written down somewhere. What is
Ska.
Ska?
Seed ska. Yeah. So this one goes out to you girls.
Then you just got to do one that says like sisters for our middle sister.
I want to say that for you, are you the youngest? So you would say ska ka, or I can't remember if ska is. Can't remember if the S is the nominalizer. Ka. Ska. It is the nominalizer. Oh. There's different ways to say it. We won't worry about that right now.
Can you say the last word again, sister? Thank you.
Ska.
Ska.
Ska. Comes from back here. Ska.
Ska.
Ska. Baba chud seed ska. Kind of has that, it's the one that has that airy sound to it. Ska.
Thank you. And that one's older sister. Ska.
Eh. All right. Did he bother you? This one we're throwing in a little bit of a challenge. Did he bother you? What's our main focus for bother? Who's being bothered? You. So how are we going to write that one? There we go. I was like, where did my pen go? Okay, so we're starting out with Lushootseed, bother you. How do we turn this into did he bother you? Trick question. Kind of a trick question. Is this a yes or no question? Did he bother you? So what do we use? Ooh. And then what about he? He's invisible. Lushootseed. Lushootseed. Did he bother you? Now let's change that into did you bother him? People are getting sassy. Lushootseed. Did he bother you? let's change that to, did you bother him? I see your lips moving, Melissa. What are we saying?
Lushootseed. Chafu.
I'm keeping this because I want you to notice. What did you say, though? Sometimes this happens. Did you bother yourself? Like, sometimes you irritate yourself. Like, sometimes some of the habits that you have, you just like, oh, I'm driving myself nuts. Like, Lushootseed chafu, did you bug yourself there? So how do we change it to, did you bother him? Because bapad, the main bapad is to bother someone or something. And we can't say him. Just like we can't say he. Bapad chafu, ooh, did you bother him? So you can definitely use this one in a sassy situation where if you called somebody out or you got under their skin, oh, bapad chafu. Did you bother him? Did you bother her? Did you bother them? Don't forget to find ways to make this relevant. So sometimes, you know, we get ourselves in situations where we're like,
me.
hey, how would you say it? How would you say it? Let's do that. You bother me. How would we help Joya say that? You bother me. You bother me. You bother me. You bother me. I did. It was probably really loud for those who are on live too.
I do the same thing. So.
All right. We have 2 more verbs that we want to be able to add to this because we'll notice with all of those verbs, they're a transitive verb that ends with a letter D. So they're all going to follow that same pattern, that same C or that seed. Okay, so the next one, and this one can get a wee bit confusing. So we're moving on. How do I keep, oh, I keep losing. I need like a necklace for my expo marker.
This little basket.
So abid, what this really means, it says give to him or her, give to someone. But the root of it is to extend. So you're like, somebody is extending their arm out, extending themselves out to give to someone. So abid Abid, as it is to give something to someone. So how would we say give something to me? Hey. How about give to you? Abit seed. Hey, abit seed. This is one that I think will be one that can be utilized. So will you please hand it to me? Please give it to me. I did the please because a lot of people ask, even my own kids ask. The funny thing is my oldest son is 19 and our youngest is about to turn 11. So they've been exposed to the language their whole life. But there are like bits and pieces that they've picked up. And then there's some things that are like the little light bulbs for them. Another cool thing, I shared it with Melissa. Our son emailed me in his respectful manner to see if he can come to our department to be an intern through Heritage, and it was just the cutest little email to read today. But our oldest son, as we were driving somewhere, he was like, Mom, how do you say please? Please isn't something that just has a standalone word. It's this prefix. And this gua gets placed on the action that you're asking somebody to please do. So if it was your first time coming in here, I could say, gua guadil chow. Please sit down. Gua guadil chow. Guakis, please stand up, so that gua gets placed in front of the verb that you're asking somebody to do. So if we want somebody to please hand it to me, we're going to say gua abits. Gua abits. Gua abits. You could leave it just like that. Gua abits. Please hand it to me. But then we can also change in this question of, will you please hand it to me? So this as itself is kind of like, more like a command. Gua abit, please hand it to me. How could we change that to, will you please hand it to me? Will you please hand it to me? What could you say? What is your response? Your response could either be A or wait. So what type of question is it? Ooh. And then who are you talking to? Cho. Gua abits chofu. Gua abits chofu. The reason why I'm giving those two examples is there are times when we're just like, please hand that to me. Please hand it over. And then there's times where in a situation we are asking like, oh, can you please hand that to me? Somebody needs help with something and you're like, oh, gua abits chafu, can you hand it to me? I want to help you figure it out. And there are times where people are going to say no. People don't want to hand that over to you. So this would be like a command. Gua abits, please hand that to me. or this is more of a question, like if there's a possibility that that person doesn't want to hand something over, Guabits Chofu, will you please hand it to me? Can you please hand that to me? So there's those two different ones. Okay, what about she gave it to you? She gave it to you. She gave it to you. It's gonna be one word. There's your clue. Lushootseed. She gave it to you. Did you get one?
I did.
Quolode. Hug someone, hug him, hug her. Is this a word? I think somebody actually carries the Indian name. It's a form of hug. Like somebody's Indian name is actually, it has to do with how much they embrace people around them. And I thought that was so beautiful. Someone from down south, and I owe them 50 cents for not remembering who it is or what form the name was in. But I thought that was so pretty. How would you say hug me? Quolotes. Hug me. Quolotes. And what about hug you? Lushootseed. I will hug my grandpa. I will hug. So I am before the verb. What am I? Did I hear somebody say hlu? Hlu quolo chud. My grandpa. Tid sapa. Okay. My grandpa will hug me. Hug. There's the verb. I am after the verb. We're starting out with hlu.
Wait, what one is it?
My grandpa will hug me. Hlu quolotes. Hlu quolotes. Will hug me. Tid sapa. So now that you see the English and the Lushootseed together, I will hug someone. We're going to say specifically who, or will hug me. So notice the difference in Lushootseed as well. So we talked about identifying the English. Where am I at when it comes to the verb? Am I before? If I'm before, I'm the actor. If I'm after, then I'm going to be connected to that verb.
Why is this blue there again?
It's the will.
Oh, okay.
It's the will, the future. It's gonna happen. Hey. Flu. We can look at some of those prefixes as well, because we have flu for future, to in the past. We just talked about gua for the please do something. So those prefixes are what's getting attached to the verb to change it.
Melissa has a question.
Would you put flu on the beginning of that too, or no?
On which one?
The guavi chapu,
It's
since it has it on the English.
you could.
But it doesn't really need to.
It's one of those things where it's kind of implied when you're saying please do something that this action will be in the future. But if you wanted to, you could say guashlu abyits chafu. Guashlu. That gets into the whole order of prefixes. You can build up multiple prefixes to mean something, to break down every little please, will. But that's a whole nother topic. But yes, I like that you asked it because I wrote it in the English. And this could be implied because you're asking somebody to please do something. You know it's something that will happen. If you wanted to use that, it would go right in between. It would go right after the gua. Guashu abyuts chofu. Okay. Any other questions, discoveries? Nothing? Okay, we are going to end it there. We are done in that spot. Do we have